So I'm trying not to be too obsessed with keeping this floor clean. Hey everyone, so this is a follow-up review of my MotoFloor that I've had for about a year and a half now, and I'm going to tell you what I like, what I don't like, what's good, what's bad, and then tell you the best ways that I've found to clean and maintain the floor. I've got a few products that I've been trying out, and I'll rate them. What works best, what doesn't. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what this thing is too and why you might need it. Okay, quick point I want to make about this floor. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to maintain it. There's nothing you need to do with this floor if you don't want to. All right, but I'm guessing if you've got a concrete floor now, you want an upgrade, right? You want it to look better. Well, after a while, it's not going to look a whole lot better than your concrete floor if you don't maintain it. So keep watching and let's get into this. Oh, if you want to learn more about this floor in terms of cost, install, pluses, minuses, and why I think this is the best flooring option, then check out my first video. I'll put a link here and down below too in the description. And please stay tuned for more updates, all right? Not just on the floor, but the garage in general, all right? In other words, please subscribe. Okay, number one thing I don't like about this floor, jacking my car up. I own a Tesla Model 3 and it's an electric car, so it's pretty heavy, 4,300 pounds. And you try to jack up a car like that heavy and it basically will crush these tiles. I did start jacking my car up before using this and it was crushing the tile, not to the point where it permanently ruined the tile, but I could tell it wasn't going well, all right? So when you look at a jack, you know, even if you're jacking up just a corner of the car, which ends up lifting almost half the car, you know, so you've easily got over 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds here where most of the weight ends up, and on each of these wheels, 1,000, 2,000 pounds is just not good, all right? That's a lot of pounds per square inch. And it will crush these tiles. I'm guessing it's going to permanently ruin them. Now, when you've got something like a tire, and you can tell by these stains here, which I'll get into, here, a tire covers a much larger area. You got about 1,000 pounds for each tire, and none of these tiles are damaged at all. You know, you look closely at them, they're holding up perfectly fine, all right? They don't look crushed in any way at all. However, this jack will not do the same thing. Even if you're doing, you know, jacking up a car temporarily, I think it's going to start permanently ruining these tiles. So what I've done is create these jacking plates. This is what I showed before. Now this is just basically, I believe, a 3/8 inch steel plate. I obviously spray painted it because, as you can see, even any part that where the paint comes off, it just wants to instantly rust. And then I put these nice little handles on it so I can easily maneuver them because it's a little hard to get your hand under it. But let me show you my first attempt at trying to fix this issue. I just bought these from Home Depot or wherever. These are basically 16 gauge, which I believe means 1/16 of an inch steel plates. And I even put two of them, one on top of another. And you could see it, I think you can see it, it bent it. And it was helping a lot from keeping the tile from being crushed as much, but it was still bowing through here pretty substantially, and I would need to maybe weld these two together or something. So I had to find a place where I can get 3/8 inch steel, which was someplace online. These ended up being, I can't remember how much they cost, but more expensive than these, obviously. But it solved the problem. These haven't bent at all, from what I can see anyway. So what I end up having to do, though, is figure out approximately where I'm going to be jacking the car up, and then move the jack and put these plates where I need them, and then move the jack so that the wheels are on the plates. And then you end up having to situate it a little bit better. So, you know, in the end, it's a pain. You know, I don't have to jack my car up very often, luckily. I'm not a mechanic here, but sometimes I'm changing out tires. Check my videos, you know, I've done suspension upgrades and a number of things like that. And when I do have to jack it up, yeah, it's not a lot of fun. However, I had my daughter's car in here, a little Honda Civic, and just for fun, I tried jacking it up without using the plates to see what would happen. And yeah, the tiles were doing a lot better. The car is a lot lighter. So could you get away without using any of these plates? Yeah, probably. If you wanted a simpler solution than, trying to find some 3/8 inch steel, you could probably get away with using some 3/4 inch plywood. I initially tried, I think, some 1/4 inch, some type of 1/4 inch plywood, and that was kind of getting crushed. And I wanted something, my car is low, so I wanted something that wasn't going to eat into that little bit of a distance that I had between the floor and the car. So that's why I went with the steel. But if you've got a lot of room, if you've got a truck, a car that's not lowered, you might be able to get away with 3/4 inch plywood. I might even recommend probably like MDF or something like that. Is pretty hard and solid. That would probably be easier. It's definitely lighter than steel. And easier to work with, easier to slide around and things like that. So anyway, it's my number one issue with this floor. Okay, the number two thing that I don't like about this floor, again, has to do with raising the car up. So I made these little car ramps, actually not that little, but I made these car ramps so I could easily raise the car up. And before it was just wood, and I was able to, on concrete, just able to lay them down, line them up, and drive the car up on them, no problem. However, on this floor, the wood, it's not like they want to slide around that easy, but when you try to drive a car up on this anyway, and again, these are homemade, but just driving it up on this, it would push it, and they kept sliding. So I ended up having to put these like anti-slide things you would put underneath a carpet. I think I used some 3M adhesive or something, and it solved the problem. So not that big of a deal. If you actually go out and buy some car ramps like a normal person, they might have a nice gradual slide on them, or gradual increase on them, and they might not slide around. But the ones that I saw that I was going to buy were made of, again, some kind of plastic, probably the same as this floor. And unless it's got some kind of a grippy surface on the bottom, you may end up with the same kind of issue. I know that even years ago, I had some steel car ramps, and I remember them sliding on concrete. So this just may be a general kind of cautionary note anyway. Probably the second biggest issue I had with this floor. Number three. I honestly don't know if I have a number three. I don't really have another downside to this floor. I don't really have anything that I don't like about this floor. It's just nice, all right? This floor, I think, makes the garage, really. You take a look at the garage overall, and it's just obviously a huge part of it. Just like any part of your house, you put a nice floor down, and it just makes the room, okay? That's what this flooring does. It just looks incredible, I think. It just really, really makes the garage. So any other downsides, I don't have them. I don't have any negatives for me. Anyway, for me, there's nothing else I don't like about this floor. Okay, now, what do I like about the floor? Well, number one, it looks cool, okay? The floor just looks great. I mean, it really, really makes the garage. If you want to make your garage look good, you've got to do something with the flooring, and I think it's probably one of the first things maybe you should do. Yeah, that is number one. It just looks fantastic. And hey, it matches my car, okay? Okay, also, it's easy to clean and maintain. I'll get into that in a minute, but even just basic dirt just slides right off of it nice and easy. Things tend to stick into concrete, and this floor with it being polypropylene plastic, everything just kind of slides off of it easy. So it's pretty nice. Okay, the next thing I really like. Let's say I drop something heavy on the floor. Let's say I jack the car up without any kind of jacking plates or anything like that. I ruined some tiles, all right? Let's just say I ruined some tiles. No big deal, all right? Just pry them up, spend another $2, $3, $4 per tile, pop them out, put some new ones in. That's it. You're done. You fixed your problems. Okay, let's say I don't like, I'll get into this again in a minute, but these spots here, all right? There's some spots that are harder to clean. Basically where the car sits all the time, the tires come in, they're really hot, they're dirty, and you just kind of park them and you sit on those spots. Well, if you can't get them clean, if you don't want to spend time to clean them, after a couple of years, you know what? Just buy some new tiles, all right? And guess what? You don't even have to replace the black ones, okay? You can't tell they're dirty. So just buy a few new white ones and you're good. Actually, you probably are going to have a lot extra after the install. You're going to have a bunch of extra tiles. Just use those, replace them. So free. Okay, now for maintenance. I'm going to show a few different examples over the last year and a half of the times I cleaned the floor. And it starts off very simply. Winter slush, how to get that out of the garage quickly, clean that up. Then next, winter salt, grime, things dried on the floor, how I clean that up. Then it gets progressively worse, all right? So there was a time also where I got a lot of oil, some grease, some brake dust material and stuff on the floor, and it wouldn't come up easily. So I had to get into some more heavy-duty cleaning products. So I show that. Okay, a few things I use to clean the floor aside from the soaps are first this bucket, double bucket. Two different sides here, one for some more clean water and then some dirtier rinsing water, and it's also wide enough to fit this type of mop. All right, a lot of buckets aren't really wide enough for this. And then this mop, I don't know whatever kind this was here too. It's got a nice little scrubber here on one side, and then the mop head also has these little scrubbing abrasive things on there, which they're not very abrasive, but works pretty well. And then what I think is most valuable is the squeegee. It's by the same place, Liveman. And what's good about the squeegee is that it is like a foam rubber, and this foam rubber works well when you've got like textures like this floor has in it. I guess a straight hard rubber might not work as well for this, but I don't know, I haven't tried it. Tried this one and it works pretty well. Also, a lot of times I've squeegeed this floor without sweeping it first. I'll just throw some water on it, or a lot of times you'll see the videos anyway. If it's dry, it is better to sweep the floor first, because otherwise you're kind of dragging and scraping rocks across this floor, which is not bad. I don't really see a lot of scratches from something like that. Like little pebbles aren't really going to scratch this floor very much, or if it does, you can't see it. But if you get the little rocks and pebbles off first, it's just going to squeegee much better, and there is less chance of any kind of damage to the floor. One product that I forgot to review in my videos, car washing soap. All right, it was recommended somewhere, so I tried it out, and you know what? It just doesn't work well. I can't recommend it at all. They recommended it because it won't leave any residue on the floor, okay? Because, that type of soap doesn't leave residue on your car. It's designed for that. But at the same time, it's not a heavy-duty cleaning product, okay? It's designed to clean a car, not a floor. So if you wanted to do some really basic cleaning, maybe, but I would probably tie it for the worst cleaning product that I used. All right, so anyway, let's get into the ones I do, and I'll rate them just okay cleaning all the way up to my progressively better and better cleaning products. Hey everyone, so I am in my really cold garage right now after our first snow of the year. So let's see what happened. I brought the car in last night, as you do, and had some snow on it. And look what happened to my beautiful floors. Ooh. So this looks so much worse than it did when it was ugly concrete. I'll put some pictures of what it used to look like. The concrete was always dirty. I mean, I never cleaned it. I swept it. That's it. I never really washed the concrete. So now when I have this nice, neat, clean floor, when anything gets on it, it just looks awful. All right, so I have prepared for this exact situation. Let me show you how. Ouija time. Okay, obviously winter time. Garage looking filthy. So once again, I'm going to try a super quick clean. Super quick clean, that just means literally a bucket of water and the floor squeegee. So it's not super clean, but this is just throwing some hot water on it and running the squeegee over it. I mean, that's not bad at all, right? It's about 32 or so in the garage. It's just under freezing out here. So I got some pretty hot water, dumped it on squeegee. Not bad. Okay, so this is about the dirtiest my floor has ever been. It's not horrifically dirty, but I actually did a couple brake jobs here and replaced a CV axle. So got some actual grease dirt stuff here. A little bit here, kind of a bunch of, I don't know what this is, brake material, grease, oil stuff. This is just kind of standard dirt around here. So this is the worst it's ever been. I haven't cleaned the floor in a few weeks, and what I am going to do is use this stuff. See how it does. Purple Power. I used it last time on some stuff, and it seemed to work better than some of the other cleaners I had. I tried Simple Green and also this Zepp stuff. This stuff cleaned all right. It's got a nice smell to it, but the purple stuff seemed to work better. So I'm going to spray it on. I think it says to leave it on for a few minutes. Yeah, this thing's got a lot of warnings on it. It's got to be good. Check this out. So what I do, instead of diluting this into, buckets of water or whatever, I just spray a little bit on the floor and let it sit for a few minutes. It says let cover surface with extreme power, allowing time to dissolve dirt and grease. So I'm going to spray it on the dirty spots and then fill a bucket of water, get some warm water, get a little sponge scrubber thing, scrub it up, and we'll go from there. Okay, 5-10 minutes. Got some nice warm water. Let's see what happens. Just gonna wring this mop. Just a little bit wet. Starts crying. Ooh, wow. Man. All right, this dirt here just comes off immediately. It just came right off. Let's see this. Look at that. It's like not even really putting any effort into this thing. Oh man, that's fantastic. Alright, should probably use a little more water. Okay, so the big test. Let's see how it does on some grease. Whoa! Alright, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, but what I'm noticing though, while that oil comes right up, or whatever that is, there are some stains here. There's some stains here. This is where the tire sits. You can see it on this side too. Those don't come off as easy. But everything else is coming off pretty dang good. This is nice. Let me bring this in closer. Here we got this spot. I think that one's pretty obvious. Let that soak in. And this looks like the same kind of stuff right here. Wow. Yeah, they work pretty well. Yeah, this goes. Wow. Dang, that's pretty good. Then just finish up with the old squeegee. Sometimes I have to remind myself this is a garage floor. You know, I squeegee it and then you kind of walk around on it, it's still a little bit wet. It gets a little dirty from your tracks and I get like all wanting to clean it all up perfectly. It's a garage floor, okay? But here, take a look at some of these spots. You can see still a little bit of something there, okay? Over here too, you know, a little bit of something. Over here, these are where the, you know, the front wheels sit. And you can see, it's always got a little bit of a stain here. And whatever that is, that looks like probably some kind of road tar. Here's something else that I just saw. I must have scratched it. It's definitely a scratch in the tile. I don't know what that's from. I am guessing it is from my jack, or those jack plates. I don't know if that's in this video or not, but I have some jack plates that I need to use for this floor. If you haven't seen it in this video, please check out my other videos. So yeah, here, this one's a little dirty too. So if you get a little crazy, like I do at times, let me show you how to clean this. All right, brake clean. If you've never used this stuff before, it is an awesome, awesome cleaner. However, it is a little harsh. You know, you never want to get any of this on like your paint, and you don't want to get it on any plastic. It'll just take the color right off of plastic. So it does some kind of crazy things. But this is not that kind of plastic. The plastics I'm talking about are like, for example, here. Let me show you. Well, here, look. So I sprayed something up here before, and you see these little white dots? Yeah, I ruined it. That's brake cleaner. Little overspray, little splash from brake cleaner. Just ruined it. Here. See that? These little white spots? That's brake cleaner. It's not on there. It took the dye right out of there. So anyway, this plastic is different. And let's see what this does. Yeah, you can see how hard it sprays. You get a lot of splash. Not coming right off. More of it did come off. I wonder if I used a towel. Let me get a towel. Oh, no. Yeah, I think there you can see it's coming off. I think it's because I've got just a paper towel here. It doesn't have a lot of abrasiveness to it. There we go. What's really cool about brake cleaner too is it just dries and it just goes away. It evaporates super quick. So yeah, almost completely off. Almost. Still see a tiny little bit. You know what? Let me see what it does to this though. Look at how dirty that is still. And these little spots here. And I'm going to get a better towel. This can is almost empty. Yeah, look at that. Alright, it's not taking everything off, but some of this stuff is just coming right off. Yeah, this stuff does a pretty good job. And, you know, as you can see, that plastic over there was taking the color off of, but like this black, you know, it's not even doing anything to it. This is like a, you know, PVC. It's not really plastic. So this is, I think, where I step in and out of the car mostly. There we go. You can see I hope you can see anyway. It's pretty much just everything's just coming off. Yeah, stuff is so good. Alright, so it doesn't clean everything. It's not a perfect cleaner. Oh, that's actually... These are little scratches in there too. I don't know what that's from. Okay, rear tires, and I don't know what this is here. Yeah, whatever that was, it just came right up. In order of cleaning power. All right, simple green. Honestly, yeah, safer choice. Unfortunately, safe doesn't really do the job on this floor. You know, it's going to get super basic dirt off. That's about it. I wouldn't go anything less than this. This stuff works okay. Does pretty well if you're trying to do a quick cleaning, and, you know, it's not as harsh. I don't think it's as harsh as this, but I'd have to really take a look. It's okay. It's got a nice smell. This is really good. I haven't found anything better yet. This works really well, and it's not going to kill you. All right. When things get a little crazy, especially when you've got some oil and grease, things like that, road tar, this really does a fantastic job. But yeah, it's pretty harsh chemicals here in the brake cleaner. But hey, if you guys found anything better, let me know. All right. So far, again, this floor is not that hard to maintain, really, but you do have to maintain it. If you're looking for a floor you don't have to maintain, keep your concrete, okay? Don't do a thing because you didn't care before. Why start caring now? All right, why put a floor down and you got to care about it? But you know, you could put this nice floor down, and even if it gets dirty, it is honestly still better than a concrete floor. But I would expect if you want something cool, you're going to maintain it. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. All right, I've done a lot of different things to this garage, a lot of little upgrades here and there, and I'll be covering them in the future. So stay tuned.